Today I'm going to talk about how to download 5-minute historical data for Bitcoin completely free. Here you are seeing 5-minute data for Bitcoin currently live in the markets, but as algorithmic traders, you would like to download this data so that you can sort of run your strategy. So let's see how to download this data for free. I have a notebook here which shows two different methods to download this data that work for me, and then I show you sort of how to plot this data, and then this helps you sort of run some strategy, like for example, I run some strategy here and make some profit. So I made some profit here by running the strategy. So what I will do is go through some different methods that I learned when trying to ask this question to ChatGPT. So I asked this to ChatGPT, and then I want to download 5-minute historical data for the last 7 days, either through a CSV or an API. It provided me sort of 5 or 6 different methods. Most of them didn't work for me. So let me save you that time and tell you what did and did not work for me. So the first thing that I tried was CoinGecko. CoinGecko has an API. It has a paid API and a public API, which is for free. So you will have to find a sign up and get an API key to use it. So that is the first thing that I tried. The problem is I did not manage to download 5-minute data. To see why, let's go to the API itself. And as you can see, let's see. So the coin data, historical chart data, let's see, coin historical data by ID. Yeah, there is no place to get the to show the time period here. The historical data within a time coin OHLC data chart by time ID. The problem is the data granularity here is automatic. So if you ask for 1 to 2 days of data, they will decide that 30 minutes is the sort of the candle bodies like time, and 4 hours and 4 days and so on. So you cannot find a 5-minute data here. The next API that ChatGPT suggested to me was Cryptocompare, which is something I've used before, and I'm a big fan of their data. The problem with the Cryptocompare is that there is no 5-minute window. There is minute pair, there's hourly, daily, hourly, and minute pair. And then there is option to sort of download these by CSV. So if you are looking for 1-minute data, it could work for you with like 2,000 data points in each sort of call. They also show you these examples. So this is sort of minutely data. These are sort of seconds. So difference is like 3,600 seconds between each data point. But they don't give you 5-minute candles. You could make 5-minute candles by yourselves, but I think that's too much work. And it may not work very well because of some complications. So what did work for me? So the next thing that I tried was Binance. So let's see how that worked for me. So we get the 7 days ago timestamp, and then so this gives us a timestamp 7 days ago, and we specify in the Binance API, we specify the symbol, we specify the time interval, which we want to just 5 minutes, and then the start time. And then the API limits us to 1,000 data points for requests, so we will just use that. So let's see if that works. That's been a hit or a miss for us. So it will give us some data. So we use the requests library to sort of pass this URL. Note that we do not need an API key here. And then we get the response. So we do get data from Binance. I will say this has been a hit or a miss for me. Once that I tried this before, it told me that it is not available in the United States for me. The reason, as you can see, if you go to Binance, they have a list of sort of prohibited countries, and the United States is sort of one of those countries, which is why it's hard to get the data from them. But somehow it's working now. So it's a hit or a miss, but you do get the data. They give you sort of timestamps, open, high, low, close, volume, and then some other sort of number of trades and so on, which I sort of ignore. And so I just take the open, high, low, close volume data, and I have here. So as you can see, if I do this, I get the from the start of 8/5, which is about sort of 7 days before, and then that's where it starts, and then it gives me about sort of 3 days of data to play around with. So that's the first way that worked for me. The second way that worked for me is Yahoo Finance. This has been the most sort of reliable library, either if you want to download stock data or crypto data. Here's Yahoo Finance. And I just import it and I specify the ticker, which is BTC USD. And then I ask it to get the stock history. The interval is 5 minutes. I do not want the pre-post. This refers to whether you want like pre-market, after hours data, but in the case of Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. And then I just specify the start and the end date. I want to get sort of 1 day of data. And this works perfectly. So it gives me 288 rows. I wanted to see why. So 24 hours in 60 minutes divided by 5 minutes, that gives me 288. So it does what I wanted to do. Okay. So here I do some cleaning on the data set. So I want a time field here. So I just take the index and I do to date time. And then I do to get, so what I want to do is to display the hour and the minute as a time string when I sort of plot the data. So I apply that to my time column. And then this is location and Unix time, which we wouldn't need for plotting, but I would need for sort of manipulating this data. Let's see. So I have a function here, which I've explained in previous videos, which makes the candlestick chart in Python. So here I just run it, and then I give the time string, which is what I want to appear in the x-axis of my plot, and then open, high, low, and close. And then I use that, and here you go. And we find the total sort of candlestick chart for 1 day for BTC. It starts at 00 and it sort of ends around midnight. Cool. So that's all I wanted to show you. If you want to download Bitcoin data for free, here are sort of 2 different methods that we know do work. So do not waste your time with other methods. These are the methods we want if you want to try algorithmic trading on Bitcoin. Thank you.